Go have a lemonade or something. So let me make sure you can see this thing, and I'm gonna go through it one more time because I'd rather do it at the beginning than because I did it at the end when I did the problems with them. Where's my presentation thing? Here it is. Yeah, I know that. Move out the way. Okay, so I think you can see what I'm doing, right? And it
Yeah.
presents. All right. So basically, um, this is like a virtual orientation of what's going to happen. So let's start here. In order to meet the requirements from the governor of Pritzker, Mayor Lightfoot, and the Illinois State Board of Education, Excel Academy of Southwest is instituting policies to ensure that the school remains as safe as possible from any potential complications from the COVID-19 virus. Okay, so that's a recent update. Any person demonstrating signs of COVID-19 or who discusses coming into contact with someone demonstrating signs of COVID-19 will be removed from the building immediately and not allowed to return without completing quarantine procedures or receiving negative COVID-19 test results. There are no exceptions. Orientation. Now, this is the part I want you to, when you get a chance, share with your parents, especially. Orientation. Only one guardian may attend orientation with their students. Orientations will be held only by appointment, and visitors will not be allowed in the building without having scheduled and received confirmation from a prior appointment. Any visitors arriving without an appointment will not be allowed in the building. Visitors may not bring any personal belongings into the building. Any belongings must be kept out of the building and are the responsibility of the owner. Visitors must wear a mask and keep it on for the entirety of their visit. Sanitize their hands and have their temperature taken and approved prior to being allowed in the building. Coming into school, students must have a mask on, sanitize their hands, and have their temperature taken and approved prior to being allowed in the building. Any student that fails to adhere to these guidelines will not be allowed in the building. There are no exceptions. Students must keep masks on for the entirety of the school day. Students may not bring any personal belongings into the building. Any belongings must be kept out of the building and are the responsibility of the student. All right, personal care items such as hygiene products, etc., will be distributed by the school. Any student arriving later than 9:15 a.m. will not be allowed into the building and will not receive transportation assistance to return home. There will be no uniform rentals. Students out of uniform will not be allowed in the building. Students will not be allowed to remain in the building past 2:15 p.m. So academic procedures. How's it going to work? How's school going to look like? Well, coming to school, students will be assigned to a pod that meets at the school 2 days per week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or only Friday for seniors. Virtual instruction. This is what we're doing now over the summer, but now it's going to be some days you do it and some days you're in class. Students will attend a virtual instruction and complete online learning remotely the remaining days per week. School days will go from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Quarantine procedures. If a student, family member, or staff is made to quarantine due to confirmed or suspected exposure to COVID 19, that quarantine will last no less than 12 days in duration. Students will be expected to complete online assignments and attend virtual instruction during that time. No person shall return to the building without having completed quarantine procedures or receiving negative COVID-19 test results. There are no exceptions. All right, this is the part where we'll ask questions to the parent, but they're not there. I do want to give you time to like relax. Our norms are the same. When you come to orientation, they're gonna, basically, Danny give you your behavior norms. Uh, there's 7 levels of intervention, I should say, when we're trying to, talk to you and tell you to, relax. You're used to all these things, Danny, because you've been here in Isaiah's. Ratings will also still be conducted. You know the attire. So that's white shirt and, or khaki pants, belt. So we have to do that. And then you also got to make sure you're well groomed. And these are just the parts I couldn't get to because the parent had a question and it ran over to the next class. Um, so if you do any of these things, these behaviors may result in immediate dismissal of from the program. Gang involvement, discussing gang involvement, shaking up, writing on or expressing gang signs, fighting, going to another school to fight, bringing others to school to fight, verbal, written, or implied threats, bringing a weapon or contraband to school, arriving to school under the influence of any illegal substances. Upon arrival, you should be on time, in your uniform, and with proper protective equipment. Um, so that's your mask, and I don't know if they have gloves for you guys. Students that are tardy may be sent home without transportation assistance. Students that are consistently and excessively tardy or absent 10 or more days per quarter may be removed from the program. Virtual instruction. All students are expected to log on to virtual instruction on time. Students that are consistently and excessively tardy or absent 10 or more days per quarter may be removed from the program. Only a few more slides to go, you guys. General orientation information. Participation. All students are expected to actively participate during in-person instruction and virtual instruction. Lack of participation may negatively impact academic performance. Credits. Students may receive zero point 0.5 credit per class per quarter. Students that miss more than X number of days per quarter, and X was discussed a while ago, will not receive credit for their class. Now, X is usually the CPS standard for how many days you can miss, and we talked about that when we was in the building. I got to pull that up because there's a certain amount of days you miss, and then you got to start over or something. EDSB. This is something I'm gonna have to go over with parents a lot. All virtual assignments will be uploaded and graded via EDSB. Students must submit assignments on time via EDSB. All right, diverse learning. Has your student had an IEP or 504 plan in the past? Do they have one currently? Then you must speak with Mr. Patton prior to enrolling the student. Any student experiencing stress, anxiety, depression, or any other cognitive emotional problems may meet with their counseling staff, Ms. White or Mr. Patton. While appointments are preferred, walk-ins are okay. We know that problems don't always occur on a schedule. All information is private unless the student agrees to share it. Miscellaneous. This is still orientation. We got a couple more slides and we're done, guys. And we're gonna get right. I'm gonna give you guys about 5 minutes to stretch your legs because I went over everything now, and I gotta do it again, third period. So when I start talking like that, you get an extended break, basically. Pregnancy plans must have a doctor or a physician's note. Allergy asthma plans and medication, self-administration must have a doctor's or physician's note. No staff members can administer any type of medication to a student. It means you can't ask Mr. Tyler or any of the teachers for Tylenol or anything. It has to come from a physician or a doctor. Orientation packet must be completed in its entirety before your student can be enrolled. Any missing information may delay enrollment, and I will get an update on when those orientation packets will be sent out or how we will get them to you. Final reminders. No students will be allowed to attend school without completing all the necessary paperwork in the orientation packet. No students, family members, or visitors will be allowed in the building without following proper procedures. No personal belongings are allowed in the building, and any that are brought will be kept out of the building and remain responsibility to owner. Any person in the building must wear a mask for the entirety of their stay and maintain social distancing procedures. All right, so I don't think you have any questions. You said your parent wasn't available, but I do want you to just share this recording today with them so they have an idea of what's going on. Okay. So let me set a timer. Give you guys about maybe 10 minutes because that was a long PowerPoint to stretch your legs. But while you're doing that, don't just sit there. You need to still be setting up for your substitution method review, Danny. So that's today's posted assignment. And you got to at least set up all this. All right. So I want you to just begin starting your header while you're on break for this 10 minutes and in a Google Doc and typing this much up. Now, we have basically five problems we're doing, but me and Isaiah, we started on one of them. So we started on problem number 5. We're going to come back and do problem number 4, but you got to get all the 5 because you guys today have to do 4 problems. Well, I might make it, well, it's not really 4 because one is super easy. You got problems 4, 5, and 9 of the PDF inside of here. So you click on this document here, and this PDF, your 4, 5, 9, and 10. I'm doing 5 right now. I was going to do 4 in a moment, but that's after your 10 minutes is up. So start on that, and I'll come back. I'm going to let you screenshot, I guess, or picture snap, or you can check the video out from last period because that's going to be up too. And let's finish it by tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
No. Hold on.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm alright, sorry. But
Okay.
yeah, okay.
All right. Hello, Danny. Isaiah, is she there? Are you there? Hello.
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to finish up the problem. I started working on it some more, but I want to finish that up before I jump to the next problem. So we have some order. Let me take a look at this. Okay. So uh, you, I'm gonna give you a second, Danny, to catch this problem up. Did you get this part, equation five done? I mean, sorry, problem five done? Are you there? Okay. Come back to her. Uh, so right here is where we left off. No, Isaiah, if you're there too, but want to get this all finished so you guys can get it all typed up. Go back, and then we're doing this problem here, which is where all your Google Doc will go. And that should be for tomorrow. I'm forgetting one thing. No, it's already recording. Cool. So basically, I'm going to give you till tomorrow to do this. And you got to finish it by 8 p.m. Okay. So let's jump into it because it's four problems altogether, but each problem has two. So that's what? Four times two, that's 8 segments of equations or something. All right. So this is going to be 13 divided by 2. And the easy way I say it is just use SimiLab. 13 divided by 2. It tells you what it is. 6.5, right? So just say 6.5 and minus 19 divided by 2. You could use either one, right? You could use SimiLab or you could use Google. If you don't remember what it is, you're like, what is it? You could type it in Google and get the same thing. If you do high level mathematics, Google acts up. You actually say equals. Is that what it is? That's what it is. Oh, equals. You gotta treat it like a computer. You talk computer language, you'll get computer work. If you don't, then you get something else. So what does this become, right? This is our y value. We're at the end of problem 5. So that's what? You just say it was a negative. No, that's just 6.5 minus 9.5, right? So it's 3, negative 3. Because that negative 9.5 is more. Y equals a negative. All right, so what is our order pair now? Our order pair is simply, right, what is it? Order pair. And we say that is when where is it at? You look at both of these equations. So equation, this is a recap of what we did. In both these equations, there's one ordinate pair, and that allows you to track. Like, I wonder if I could real quickly put these in here so you guys can see the value of these. So if I take this equation and I open SimLab again, in case you're wondering, why is this important? I'm going to show you why. I take both of these. All right. And if you look, it goes through the steps for substitution method like we did. Right. So were we correct? And then furthermore, why do you need an ordered pair? I don't know if you guys can see this, and maybe I should send it to you. Put it in the chat so it makes sense. That dot is the ordered pair. So you click on the link and you might be able to see what I just did. If you look right here, that's our equation, right? This line is one of the equations, and this line is the other equation. You guys see that at all or no? So once you get the hang of SimLab, because You can do it at Google too, but it might, ask you more questions. So where are we at with that? You need an order pair to determine where these two lines intersect or cross. So order pair is usually set up as X, as I told you before, comma Y. If I ask you what's the order pair, I'm not asking you to do something more. I'm asking you to just tell me what you found from using both the equations to find a common point. So order pair is X comma Y. And for us, that would be, if I scroll up, we said this was -2, right? Is that what we got? Oh, we got to go back and get X. We only got Y. But I'm thinking we're on the money with the equation because this says Y is supposed to be -3, and it is. So let's go back and finish it off. Now, how do I finish it off? Well, if I come all the way up here, remember this that I bolded? I said, you're going to have to come back. This is last period. I said this to Isaiah. You have to come back and, find X. You got to come back to this part. Now, I'm not going to put it into some previous thing or equation we use because it'll make more work. I can just use this because this is called a partial solution. Only partial because you still got a Y in there that you don't know. But now we know what that Y is, right? Take this, come all the way down, blow this up some. And I'm going to say use the partial solution from equation 1 prior to find X. And we can do that by just taking this partial solution, I'm sorry, and we know what Y is. So all I gotta do is, let's bring this down some. And all I'm gonna do is put this here and remove that. We know it's the partial solution. Oh, that didn't do what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. And we know Y is, so that's a -3 from earlier, not 13. Okay. Parentheses, there we go, -3. So I hope you guys understand what I'm doing here. I don't want all of that trailing, and I don't need it to do that no more. So we came back to it. Okay, so now I can actually put this into Symbolab and just get a quick calculation for it. Okay, so let me just take this much and put it down 1. So now I'm going to take this part and we're going to go to our trusty calculator real quick and plug it in and let's see what happens. I got 2, right? Okay, cool. So it looks like there's a way to check your work as well. Now I wouldn't just plug it in because you need to show me all these steps, but Symbolab will show you some of them. If you just do a Symbolab, quick review where you just show the or the pair, I can't give you full credit for it because I don't know what steps you did. Can't you only use the calculator as a tool to get further along, right? Meaning understand what's going on. So you see here, it didn't even go through nearly all the steps I went through, but it does tell you how to get started, even on that one little calculation. If I go back to the previous one, is that available? Yeah. It says you can solve by elimination, Kramer's rule, Gaussian. These are like physics level things, but substitution, and it does. And then you click show. You open this up some. You can hit show steps. And you see, it only shows you a few, but it doesn't show you everything. So it even tells you what to do. So if you get confused on getting this done by tomorrow, just use this, or there's videos on substitution method via Khan Academy. All right, so that's one done. I got to move on and knock out the other equation for you. I mean, other problem. Sorry, and that's this problem number 4. And I told you this was really, really easy to do. So I think I'm just going to work on it from here and bring this down some. Clean it up in a moment. So what makes this easier than that problem? Well, in this problem, you had all the variables loaded, meaning you had x, y, they were both attached to coefficients or numbers or constants. But in here, it's kind of already solved for y, so you just can use it to solve into each other, right? So this is equal to y and this is equal to y. If it was equal to x and that was equal to x, you could sub that into that. All right, so let's get started. I can start with either equation, so I'm going to say substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Blow that up a little bit so you can see what's going on. Now, all the work for 5 is down here, still there. And, I would keep it running document. But you guys got one more problem. I want to say you got to do 9 and 10. And they're really easy if you just do this method for those two. That's why I chose them, so you have some easy problems to work out. I think I gotta give you guys time for another break, and it's 10:33. So let me try to get this done and see how fast I can do it. So basically, you're in a situation where you're saying make y equal to y. What do I mean by that? Well, they're both in the equation of line form where it's just y. So I can say for equation 1, equals equation 2 now. That's the only y in the system. So I can now say, hey, all right, let's do that. Since these are both y, I can substitute this partial solution into this part. So that looks like this. I'm going to take this equations and do it in steps. And this one, I just want you to look at them real quick. So that's EQ1, and this will be EQ2. I was thinking about putting it back up over here under equation 2, but that's fine. So now, what does that look like? We take it here. That's equation 1. I'm just going to put that there. And then that's going to be equal to this here. All right. So now we have this new equation, which is basically following this procedure. And put this in the middle because this is notes for you to know about what happened there. Now, all I would do is just get rid of this fraction and turn it to a decimal value because we like those. And then combine like terms. So this is a totally new equation. And we're going to work on it. So what does that become? What's 1 divided by 3? It's 1 divided by 3. Like any fraction, again, you can come here. 1 divided by 3. And it's just 0.33, right? And it repeats. So you're just going to put 0.33x, right? 0.33x. So 0.33, and then there's an x. So only need 2 digits after the decimal. Plus 3 equals, and then all this jazz right here. Clean that up so it's visible. Next, we got to combine like terms. So let me take this again. and show you what the like terms are. So what's the like terms? Well, if we code it like this, we say this 3 is a like term, because it's always confuses students for some reason, is the same with this because it has no x attached, so it's a like term, right? So I think I did that color. Yep. So now you see what the like terms are. The red matches this because there's an x here, there's an x here. So the red is for your x values, right? And once you're thinking that's a like term, maybe that's too light. There we go, a little darker. All right, so we'll take this and we'll do some algebra on it. And the first thing I would do is I remove the 2's, the 3 over here. You could bring the 2 over here, but it depends on your algebraic steps. And I'll bring this x over here. So let me just take this and what do we get? Well, I want to take this -2 to this side. No, I'm going to take the 3 over here because I'm going to have all my x's on this side. So that'll be what? That'll be -3, right? Because I want to remove it from that side. And then I'm just going to bring it over here. There. So that combines with that. Let's take it a step further. What it simplifies to? Well, we know that this part right here strikes out, right? It crosses out. So now we have a new equation. Just take what was not bothered, and this new equation over here changes because in the next iteration, it's not just -2 and 3. Those are like terms. It's going to be what? It's going to be a -5. The equation's getting smaller again. Let's take the rest of our equation with us. Stay consistent. And now we're at a point where we still got to get those x's to combine. So how do we do that? Well, if I'm looking at this correctly, all I need to do is take this 2x and bring it over to this side of the equation. So I can do that by doing the opposite of 2x, which is -2x. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So that'll be this -2x placed right here as well on the other side of the equal sign or other side of the equation. All right, so far so good. Now I'm going to take this again because this equation gets smaller, right? Something disappears. Thank you for letting me know I'm presenting. Go away. And going to strike this out because it's 0 now, right? It's 2x minus 2x, that's 0. So now we have a new equation, but we also got like terms here. So we need to figure out what that's going to become. Let's continue on, and we can just use symbol app to do that part, right? So what is it? I'm going to take this part, and I'm going to remove this. It's 0 there. But these two become something else. So what is 0.33 minus 2? Well, let's take a look. So it's negative. No, it's not negative. It's 0.33 minus 2. You get what? Well, it says negative 1.67. It's probably 66, but they rounded that to the 7, which is what I have you guys do. But let's keep going. So it's over here, it becomes a negative 1.67x. I didn't want you to make a bullet point. Misunderstood. You still want to do that? Okay, thank you. Do what I told you to do. I'm playing with Google. All right. So I'm gonna take this step. How do we get x by itself? That's all you got to do. Now, so far, I want to say now use algebra. We've been doing nothing but algebra in this. And right now, all we have to do is, you see, it's negative 1.67 multiplied by x. The reverse of multiplication is division. So let me put this in parentheses and show you what happens. And we're going to divide by what we don't want, which is at negative 1.67. Okay, and then what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So this is negative 5 will divide by same. Put a bracket there. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Just make this all visible and the same. Go. So some things cancel out, right? Well, let's go ahead and do the canceling. We got, we'll take this again. And we know this goes away. And this goes away. So you have this value here that will pretty much divide out, and you can use symbol lab for that, right? So negative, negative, that cancels, right? That makes it a positive value. So we're just doing 5 divided by 1.67. Let me come to this x value. X is going to be equal to what? Well, plug it in. And that's, we said 5 divided by 1.67. And it yields, what does it say there? 2.99. You might as well say 3. So say 2.99, or x is equal to 3. Put that there for a reason, because we could put this into symbol lab again together and find it with the steps. And that's called checking our work. So I'm going through it, as you see. I'm modeling what you should do to do this. I go through the problem, I gave my best shot, and then I put the equation into symbol lab to check and see if I got it right. So let's first go back and use either one of these equations to find y. Now, I'm going to just use this one because it's just 2x minus 2. So whatever x was, which we said was 3, right? 2.99 or 3, we can plug that in. So I'm going to snatch this here, and I'm going to say, now solve for y using equation 2 above, right? Based upon our new, I gotta blow that up so y'all can see, right? New x value. So what does that look like? Well, this is the equation 2, right? So if that's the case, when I use it again, I don't want equation 2 again. Just making an iteration so you can see the steps. You have whatever x was, right? That's 3. That's equal to 2, not x, but we're using what we found, 3, close parentheses, and then minus 2. All right, so I'm going to take this again and bring it down 1, because we're at the finish line to say what our ordered pair is. You could say in your head, that's 2 times 3. You know, it's good to practice it. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 2. That's what? It's 4, right? Or you could do it this way. So I did order of operations. Right? Put that there. You can do it either way, right? Now, order pair. Grab this from here, and then talk about final grades or whatever, and not whatever, but let you guys know. I didn't finish this part off. Let you guys know what to expect next period. Let you have 10-minute break at least. So the order pair, I'm just going to cut this. For this one was, again, -3. And I'm sorry, it's always XY. So it's 2, comma, -3, right? That's the, when I say the final answer, this is the final answer. There's 3 answers to this one. So that's that. And then the other order pair will go upstairs just for this link because we found that one, right? Yeah, it was 4. So order pair for that one was X comma Y, 3, comma, 4. Alternatively, we could take these two equations and still get a calculation for it, right? So let's check our work and see how close we were. I can't do it that way. All right, I can't paste it in there. I don't know why, because it's written that way. So y equals, say parentheses, 1 divided by 3, and then it's x plus 3, and colon, and then we say y is equal to 2x minus 2. Hit enter. Let's see what it says. Okay, we solve by substitution. And what do you know? I'll come back to my solution. What do you know? So even if you get stuck, I just saying show all your steps. Do not just give the order pair. You gotta show all your steps. And I gave you a tool, and you also have this video to review to do this work. Okay. It is 10:48. I would check the video to make sure you have at least these 2 problems done, right? And then come back, and tomorrow, because it's when it's due, we're going to go over the other 2 problems. But give them a try tonight, and try to submit it. If not, hold off, and we'll go over those last 2 problems, because tomorrow technically your quiz will be posted. So we can talk about those last 2 problems and get that done, and then very quickly try to get some, give you some hints or clues on the quiz. But just gotta be mindful how we do that time. So let me see here. Did I get everything? Yeah. All right. So I want to stop recording and get this video ready for you guys, and um, you have 10 minutes to. You can leave 10 minutes to break, and then we also will be starting about with the. I want to say starting with the PowerPoint again, so you could use that 10 minutes for your break again. I guess so. You guys got 20 minutes, looks like, because you already heard the presentation. I got to go over it again for period 3. All right. So use this time wisely.